And we are live. Hello, and thanks for tuning in. It is 2021, first episode of the year for the SuperBoss Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Luc Tran, joined by Harrison Ngo.
What up? Jason's going to hate me.
And Ian Eatwell.
Hi.
All right.
That was... I'm afraid.
We talk about what's going on in the nerd world, ranging from movies, comics, to video games. If you're a new listener, we're just going to start by talking amongst ourselves what we've been up to in the past week or so, if we've heard any cool news, before jumping into the main topic. And the main topic, since it is the new year, we did it last year, we're going over our old resolutions from last year and talking about what we want to do for this year, New Year's resolutions.
Guys.
Harrison, what have you been up? Ian, what have you been up to? You want to talk first? Let's talk.
Yeah, let's go. Bring in the energy. No fear.
God, I'm overstimulated.
I'm understimulated.
It's a new season.
Of what?
SuperBoss Podcast Season 2.
Is it
you
really
bring it out like that?
We didn't even talk about that, man. Come on, don't do us like that.
New year, new season?
Oh, man.
Nah, I don't know.
If it is.
What has been up? Just honestly, it's a new year, but it's just more of the same.
Had a nice break. Got to
more
reset.
the same. It was a nice break, yeah. Yeah. A little bit of reset. Got to kind of do some stuff that I wanted to do, but nothing going on too much. Harrison?
All I'll say is, like, going back to listening to our old episode, when you ask what's up, I'm like, bro, obviously past us did not know what was going to happen. Like, at all.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
No. But
we're flying by the seat of our pants. I think we still are at some point.
What?
You said we had no idea what was going to happen after that?
Anyway, so my break was nice.
Good.
Dude, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, so man, it feels like it's been a while since we talked, but I think the last time obviously was December.
It's been about a month. Yeah, it's been about a month.
Yeah. Let me see. What have I been up to? Just trying to knock out Cyberpunk, but I have I don't have as much motivation as I did because I'm like
first came out.
Yeah, well, even then I was still kind of hesitant on playing it, but I was like, oh fuck it, I already got it, and I'm I think I'm more than halfway through. I'm pretty sure I'm on the last leg. It gives you that prompt of, once you do this mission, you can't do anything on the side until you finish this whole section. I'm like, okay. So I just did the side stuff for a bit. I'm like, when do I start this, the main, probably finishing out the game, it feels like, but been working on that. Just watched a lot of anime and fuck, yeah, not that much. Just got to relax. It was chill. What about you, Luke?
Kind of more of the same. Oh man. So we always joke with the friends I play with League where, it's just a miserable game and we don't like playing it. And for the past 3 days, I just haven't played it. And my body and my spirit just feels so much lighter. So I think I can confirm that League of Legends is just a toxic game.
I mean, I could have told you that.
Yeah.
I mean,
this always happens to me. Every 6 months, I'll find a phone game that I'm like, yeah, I'll play this game for a bit. And I found my phone game. It's called Girls Frontline, which is also colloquially known as Girls with Guns, the video game. So that's really fun. And it's really nice. I haven't played this style of gacha. I've played a few gacha games before. I've played Fire Emblem Heroes, AFK Arena was big, and then a few other just random ones that only I played, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is, I want to say it's in the same line of, have you guys heard of Arc Knights?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's along the same line of, well, Arc Knights is a little different in that it's a tower defense gacha game. But I really like the kind of style of gacha game I really like because in Girls Frontline, there's like you have a bunch of the girls with guns are basically the things you roll for. And rolling for them is actually really nice because you aren't really limited by a specific special currency. So you can technically roll. So there's like 4 resources you get in game that you use to craft a bunch of things and to actually play the game. And you get so much of it by just doing like random AFK missions basically,
Okay.
where you're not really gate locked or you're not really gate kept by, all right, well, I've used up all my like free to play gems or whatever for the week, so I just have to be happy with these characters I have. So I really like that. There is like a resource in the game that's more of the traditional gotcha, like, oh, we have a like limited time offer roll, you need to roll for it, but that's not for, it's for character skins. So
you can earn everyone, like no problem.
Only cosmetics.
Yeah, like only cosmetics are for the actual like special currency. The in-game currency just lets you roll
Okay.
like a lot. And it's also kind of nice. It's really different because technically the girls you make are robots. So there's a like quote production time.
Oh my god.
And like the production time is long enough where like it's almost like a subtle hint of like go away, go do something else for a few hours. Because like on average it'll take like 3 hours to like finish making the girl. And so, you know, I do my dailies and I start crafting and then I just put it away. And then like 3 or 4 hours later I just check like, oh, everything's good. And then I just do a few more things and that's it for the day. So it's a nice breath of fresh air in that I'm not just glued to my phone screen.
Yeah.
Like I was with AFK Arena.
Man. Was that last year we played that?
Yeah, that was last year.
All right.
Was that in 2020? I thought that was 2019.
Oh, wait,
Or was it 2019?
It was 2019. So 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yo, have you seen their commercials?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting
Dude,
weird.
they have a partnership with someone right now, and I was just like, oh,
dude,
like they're getting weird, and they have really cool collabs.
Yeah,
so.
the variety is insane because you'll have the like weird, like cringy skit videos that like is like a normal commercial, right? Just like something's always off and weird about it.
Yeah.
And then you have this like all of a sudden this one dude's just like rapping about it, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you have like lore commercials where you're like, oh, the angel of life kills his son, and then the wife enrages and becomes a demon. It's like, oh my god, I'm all over the place here.
I've only seen the Persona 5 collab recently, and that's it.
They had a RE0 collab, which I thought was crazy.
They also did Overlord, right? Isn't that what that anime is called?
Yeah, that too.
The big skeleton dude.
Yeah.
Speaking of the ads, I think it's really funny. I was reading up. There's a reason why Girls Frontline doesn't have a lot of ads in the West. And apparently they tried to do like an ad campaign and it was super botched. And so no one really got into it. Because I think what happened was whoever was managing the ads for their Western release, they kind of did that stereotype of, oh, we'll just like Photoshop the girls with other random characters and like sort of made them look like hentai games. And so people were just like, okay, it's just a knockoff hentai game, whatever.
Oh, okay.
And so I thought that was hilarious.
That's super funny, yeah.
Because it was literally like they would have a real life like special forces guy and then a photoshopped girl next to him with the gun. It's like random text and it's just like, okay, it's just a garbage game. But yeah, unlike AFK Arena, which is, yeah, like you said, everywhere.
Mm-hmm. God, I love it. That just gives me life.
Man, now that because you mentioned, oh, it's like SuperBoss Season 2, we talked about, like, we barely glanced on anime. There's a lot of new anime coming out recently too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys are going to be into what's coming out. I don't know if you guys like Dr. Stone.
Yep, gonna watch that.
Rising of a Shield Hero.
I need to start that.
This
is actually gonna touch my resolutions, not gonna lie. So I'm like, that's why I haven't like brought it up yet.
You don't just jump into because
dude, yeah,
I haven't like. There's a bunch of news that's happened, but so much of it to me just really doesn't matter. It's all just fluff.
Let's just do it. Let's just go to resolutions.
Ian, you have anything to share with the class?
Ooh, nope, nothing I can think of right now. We are Gucci and ready to go.
Let's go.
All right. Let's just go ahead and jump. So, yeah, last year, kind of around the same time, we kind of did it just for fun. Of the three of us talked about, what are some resolutions you have, mainly related to like what the show was about, video games or comics or movies or whatever. And I thought it'd be fun to all of us to like reflect back on those just a little bit and then talk about what we have for the new year.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are technically my guests this time. Mm-hmm. So let's have Harrison go first. How did you do on what were your last year resolutions? And then how did you do? And then what do you plan for the next year?
All right. So going through all this stuff, I thought there'd be more. I didn't realize how much we just kind of
rambled.
Didn't talk about. Yeah, we just rambled really hard. Which, yeah. Anyway, so going through all that, one thing I stressed at the beginning was, well, let me just list it first, and I'll just kind of address each one after. So one was essentially finish Assassin's Creed Odyssey, chip away at it, and then two, I totally forgot, play Sekiro. And then I pretty much just stressed working on my backlog. For instance, playing Ori 1 in prep for Ori 2, play Pokemon. I think I might have mentioned Final Fantasy 15. And then another one was play more on my Switch, try to play less on my computer, and actually leave my room.
And then COVID, you don't get to leave your room.
When I said that, I'm like, bro, you have no fucking idea. Apparently, and then one was do all the raids in Destiny. Dude, I didn't realize how much we played Destiny, or we talked about Destiny.
Yeah, it was a lot. I mean, that's why our editor would always joke, like, please don't talk about Destiny anymore.
Right. And then, let me see. Oh, computer's being weird. Okay. And then essentially it kind of ties in with like the PS4, but like play certain games in prep for new gen. And lol, bro, you have no idea. But that was pretty much it. I was surprised like we didn't really touch much. We just rambled more. But so going down, addressing each one. So Assassin's Creed, I actually did finish that game.
Nice.
According to, I just looked at Ubisoft because I was like, all right, let's see, when did I finish it? So I finished it like last September apparently. And according to the stats, it's like, 91% of the main story. I'm like, all right, that's probably why I stopped. Because I think I stopped at 56 hours. But so yeah, finished that. Sekiro. I did not touch that again. I realized, I was like, oh yeah, I wanted to play that, but I just didn't get back into it. And it was like, we talked about how like, or Luke was like saying, how long of a break did you have? Because you probably would go back and forget how to play the game. I'm like, dude, I probably created a huge gap at this point. I don't remember how to fucking play that game. Backlog. So I did finish Ori. So I did actually do that, and I've been wanting to play Ori 2. Didn't finish Pokemon at all. I think I stopped at like, I forget which gym, but I just didn't finish that game. Did not touch Final Fantasy 15. And we talked about Divinity Original Sin 2, and I was like, oh yeah, I mentioned how I wanted to play that after I was done with school. I'm like, well, it's after school. I haven't played it yet. But I think the main thing was play it on my own and then do like a group run, but just haven't.
Yeah.
And okay, play more on the Switch. And don't leave my room. Hilariously worked out because of COVID. Because I ended up playing more on my Switch because I played like Animal Crossing, played like more games with my girlfriend, and just didn't leave my room though because COVID, couldn't do anything.
Right.
So technically, technically did play more on my console, but there's that. And then I finished all the raids hilariously before they took it all out, so
Nice.
that kind of worked out.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, and then play game. I just haven't touched my PS4 really, so that's a fail. I didn't like. It was like, oh, play Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna play that. Didn't play it, and then I saw it come on PC, and I'm like, oh, I don't know yet. And then yeah, I just didn't play much on my PS4. Besides, I think I played one other game, but we'll address that later. So did we want to go through our how we did and goals, and then we just go in a circle? How'd you want to do it? Or do I just
talk about what you have planned for this time?
All right. So this time, I figured I actually kind of divide it into like two things, and like actually, so one big thing is obviously work on my backlog, and then the other one is explore new either games or shows or anything, but like at least try to like push for like just finding new stuff.
Ooh.
So but that's like the two trees, right? So with the backlog, I gave myself goals on that, so I want to see if I can hit it by like next year. So for Steam, I want to at least play and finished at least 3 games, maybe.
Okay.
I feel like that's a lot, but because I put that for Steam, I put that for the PS4, but specifically like on PS4, I want to at least do the Uncharted collection, or I don't know, like Jack and like any of those games that I have on there. I'm like, I bought this because I wanted to play it, and I just need to. I actually, I recently bought the Persona 5
Royal Edition. Yeah,
because it was on sale, and I was like, fuck it. So that might be one game. I like
how it's like you automatically default to like, hey, I'll do like these 3 games. It seems like a lot, and you pick, hey, here's like a 70-80 hour game.
Right. I know it's gonna be like, that's the one thing I did last time where I picked big games. I'm like, shit, I shouldn't do that as much. So I'm trying not to, but we'll see. But I mean, at least this time I'll just say just finish at least. Let's see. So there's that, and then backlog. I want to watch. I still actually have a backlog on anime stuff, so I want to watch at least like 2 shows. Because I say 2 just because I don't know. It depends on like how long they are, like if they're like stupid long, or just like 24 episodes or 12 episodes. But I think mainly I need to catch up on Attack on Titan, because season 5's out, and I'm still on season 2. Like I haven't even like budged on that.
Yeah. So
I keep hearing the hype, and I've been really good about like avoiding spoilers because I don't know what's going on. So, do you want to actually work on that? And then Netflix or other stuff, just maybe finish other series, because there are certain series I want to watch, like Last Kingdom, or like there's like one other Viking one that I want to watch, but just hit 3 shows on that. Backlog stuff takes a lot because it's just like working on stuff. Then the other one is like actually so the other big goal or resolution would be like to explore new stuff. So I think one thing was try to I don't know how this is possible, but if I hit it, cool, with the amount of games I'm like setting myself with, but like at least 100% a game, like any game. So preferably I probably won't do that for like a big open world game. Probably do like for like a smaller game on a smaller scale, but try to like actually do that versus just like play a game here and there, but give myself like actually push myself to actually play a game fully, and then if anything go beyond that, and then like actually 100% that.
Nice.
Yeah. Because I just know I'm really bad about that.
The completionist achievement.
Yeah. But just one game. Like, that's it. And then the other one was like try a different genre, or go back to one that I just haven't played in a while and see if I still like it. But like, just not like trying to break away from, because I haven't playing. I've been playing a lot of FPS or like Guild Wars 2 recently, and I'm like, all right, I kind of want to like an open world. Like I want to try to like push for something else. Like if anything, if you guys like mention a game later on, I'm like, all right, I should try that. And then actually like just sit there and like force myself to try it and like because sometimes it's like, oh, you guys mentioned certain games. I'm like, oh, that'd be cool, but I never think about it because I never think about playing a game of that genre, for instance. But I'm like, oh, I should actually try it, you know? So try to widen my horizon.
Zero Dawn?
Ian, don't change. Don't ever change.
I won't.
We love you. God damn it. But yeah, so actually, like, I think it's like mainly try to finish what I got, but also find new stuff, which is a terrible combination when you really think about it. But yeah, that's all I got. It was funny because I mostly just commented on the shit that happened, but we could do that after because I think it was really funny on certain things we talked about. But that's enough with my goals. Ian.
My goals?
Your goals.
I didn't do any of them. I don't think. Yeah. I played Ori, but I didn't finish it.
Oh.
What?
Really quick. There's one thing I wrote in my notes and I really wanted to stress.
Oh, go for it.
Ian Eatwell 2020. Harrison, you got me things as a gift. I just don't play it. I'm like, I got you things as a gift, and you said you need to play it, and you said you would. How'd that go?
So I played Ori.
Oh wait, no, I did get your Ori.
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah.
Shit.
You done, kid?
I'm out.
Oh, you were super nice and got me something for my birthday. I can't remember what it was. Let me think. Star Wars. Right? That was you?
No, yeah.
Okay.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yes, yeah. Oh, dude, you know that's gonna get played. I'm definitely playing that.
We'll see how that goes next year.
Yeah, we'll see. That's probably getting played this year. But that's not a goal. Goals. Yeah, I don't think I did any of them. As I was like listening, it was like procrastination, I think, was one. I definitely procrastinated still to a degree that I don't want to be at.
Some say to this day he still procrastinates.
Some say. Yeah, I played Ori, but I didn't beat it or anything. I really like it. I don't know why. I think I just keep getting distracted. Oh, but I got some spicy goals this year. All right, but yeah. You know what? We're doing away with the goals. Last year's goals. F those goals. This year, in Hades, I'm gonna get a sub 10-minute run. That's the year goal for that game.
How close are you? Like, I know you're still chipping away at it.
Still the fastest time that I've had is 15 minutes 27.
Knocking off 5 minutes.
Yeah, boy.
Jesus. Sidebar, did you guys hear about how there was a 25-minute fresh run? Like, fresh start of the game, like nothing.
Yeah. I mean, isn't there faster ones?
No, but this is like from the start. Like, new game.
Yeah, that's like a category.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't.
Well, I think what Harris's saying is like they beat, not just like, oh, we got out. It's like we just beat the game in 25 minutes. Like we went through epilogue in 25 minutes.
Oh wait, like the whole entire thing?
Like from the like when they started, like it was a fresh save. Nothing. They didn't earn anything, and they finished the game in one run in 25 minutes. Unless there's a faster one, I don't know. But
whoa.
Anyway, sorry. Hades.
That's wild. How do I get to?
Because I know they did AGDQ recently, and I think they did. It was nothing, like a completely fresh start, past the epilogue in an hour. Are you thinking it was something like that, or are you thinking of?
Because there is like a category in the Hades speedrun thing called Fresh File, and the fastest one there is 21 minutes.
Oh, okay, so it probably got beat.
21:44.
So that was the one. Last time I saw it was like maybe it's the same. I don't know. Anyway,
that's pre-version 1.37, and then post is 23 minutes.
Jesus,
that's still fucking fast though, right?
Anyway,
like 25.
No,
minutes?
That's insane.
Yeah. Like, because if you think about it, you don't have any of your mirror abilities. You don't have
which is miserable.
any trinket. I don't think, at least.
No second dash. Like straight up thinking.
Yeah.
No second dash. You don't have any death defiances. You don't even have all the boons unlocked yet.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's pretty wild. Yeah, I don't think you can get any. Can you get duos? I don't think so.
I think you can. It's incredibly unlikely, but
Uh,
Demeter, Zeus, and I think Artemis don't show up on the first run at all.
oh shit, you're right. Because you have to start out with Athena. That's right.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's pretty crazy. But yeah, so that's goal number 1. Goal number 2 is not related. It's related to life in general. I just need to regulate my sleep schedule because.
we're doing like live stuff too.
Holy shit. I don't know. Do we want to?
Sure, dude. It's your New Year's resolution.
I have all that shit too.
My time. Yeah, just sleep schedule regulating. I want to not be bad about that. It's pretty bad. But I guess just consistency in general is what I need to work on, because sleep schedule, working out, and like other things, like consistency is the bigger thing. But yeah, we'll work on those things. Back to game stuff. I have a few games that I want to play. Like Call of the Sea. I really want to play that. That came out and I completely forgot about it until Luke brought it up. Oh man. I want to stream more games and I want to record more games. So I'll be doing that more. Oh man, I need to go to the eye doctor. That's also a gear goal. Dude, I haven't been to the eye doctor.
That's probably more important than everything else we've ever talked about. Is like, I should care about my own personal health.
Oh man,
probably.
I need to see. I need my eyeballs to work.
To see. Well, I have glasses. I have contacts that I'm still like running through. But I
They're
think
probably old though. I bet, aren't they?
Well, the glasses are. The contacts aren't. But yeah, my glasses are old, but I think I want to switch back to glasses, like, instead of contacts, so I don't have to keep buying contact solution and stuff.
Get styling.
Yeah. Oh. I'm gonna walk out. You're gonna see me after once we all get vaccinated. You're gonna see me with those like invisible glasses where like the rims are like see-through or whatever.
Oh my gosh, I called it. I didn't want to say. I didn't want to influence it.
I hate.
I didn't want to influence it, but I had a feeling you go for that.
No, I'm joking. I do. I hate those hairs.
Thank God. Okay, thank God. I was like, Ian, please.
No, those. I'm boomer when it comes to that. That's too violent for me. I don't even like the circle glasses that are like trendy now too.
Oh yeah.
Just give me some black like rectangle. Like I'm a square.
What you got against Harry Potter, man?
Give me something boring. Oh, that's true. Harry Potter does have the.
Yeah, man.
That guy was kind of a dick, anyways.
Was he?
I don't know. Probably not. Yeah, those are pretty much my goals. That's pretty much it. It's not very exciting now that I think about it. But that sub 10-minute run, that'll put me on the leaderboard, man. Let me see. Where we got? Any heat?
Ian's life revolves around Hades right now.
That's like the bottom of the barrel.
I'm actually okay with it.
If I got... Alright, sub 10 is like 160. Holy shit.
Top 160 runs?
Yeah. That's... Dang. I thought it would be more than that. Why are people so good at this game? Fuck.
Because that game is amazing.
It is an amazing game. Amazing. All right. But yeah, Luke, what are your goals? What do you got?
I'm pretty sure I didn't do any of my goals last year, just straight up.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one of the this is when we were like all, I think I had just started Destiny a few months before we did that. So I was like, oh yeah, Destiny's great, having so much fun, do all the raids. And then I think about 3 months into quarantine, I was like, yeah, it might have been even before then. Like, there just came a moment where I'm just playing Destiny just because there's literally there's no other game to play. So I'm just going to stop playing. I think the only other raid I did was Garden of Salvation. And that was to get Divinity, which was really fun. I did have a lot of fun doing that raid, but I didn't do any of the others. And I kind of really don't miss Destiny either. Like it was fun for an FPS, but I tend to agree with a lot of the criticisms of Destiny right now, where it's just like you just play the game and nothing you do really matters because in a month or two you just have to do it all over again.
Yeah, it's not meaningful.
Yeah, I didn't play any Final Fantasy 15, so that was my bad.
Oops.
That coincidentally, that's on my backlog for this year. I want to try and finish it this year.
15, you said?
Yeah, 15.
15.
So
yeah.
I was that on both you guys' goals?
I think so.
It was. Yeah,
okay.
It was on our backlog.
Because I think it was on mine too. I played it. I think I just found out I don't like it, so I probably just won't play that.
Because I think for you didn't have it at the time, from what it sounded like. And I think you bought it later.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
That's just what it sounded like. I couldn't tell. Because I know you bought it when you got there was a time when you just bought a bunch of games, and I think that was a part of the
Yeah, they were all
part of it.
Oh,
but I think that was after we did this episode. So
okay. Gotcha.
I feel like it was.
I also don't think I'm gonna like it that much.
Same.
Like I think I'll enjoy the story for what it is, but it's just one of those where I talked about with one of my other friends who he's probably the biggest Final Fantasy fan I know, but their new trend of combat that they kind of started, it's kind of started with 12, where they started moving away from the turn-based into trying to incorporate live. 15 just didn't feel like I think I have 3 or 4 hours on 15, and combat just feels very sloppy and gross, and I hate it.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be one of those things where, because that game has difficulty settings, doesn't it? Or am I crazy?
I think it does.
But yeah, it's just I'm gonna put it on the easiest setting and just breeze through the story and be like, all right, that's it, I'm done.
Cool.
I'm satisfied.
Booyah.
Because there's some parts of it's also part of it is I already know, because I didn't get 15 until 3 or 4 years after it came out.
Yeah.
So I already knew this story, but I still there's some parts in the story I think are really cool. So I'll enjoy it for that, but
okay.
There wasn't. I think Sekiro was also on. There's just something about Sekiro I just don't like.
I thought you played it. Or I thought you beat it. Sorry, I thought you beat it already.
Yeah.
Crazy?
And
you did? Okay.
And I just didn't like it very much. I think it's part of. I think I've made mention of this before in one of our previous episodes, but I've always been more of a fan of the Western aesthetic of things instead of the Eastern aesthetic.
Eastern, yeah.
So, samurai is cool, and I do like Japanese mythology, but I think at the end of the day, knights and dragons will be more cool than giant, horrifying Yeti apes that rip off their own heads and fight you.
That's pretty metal.
But Sekiro itself, it'll be interesting because that's one where it had a pretty notable story compared to From Software's other titles. There's the singular character, and there's the one way he plays, really. And part of that I just didn't enjoy, just because, I mean, with Dark Souls series, you have your own character, you build them your own way. I think it'll be interesting to see how they do with Elden Ring, because Elden Ring is supposed to be more of an open world type game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would be, I think, something I'd enjoy more, just because I'm not railroaded into trying to play a certain way. But yeah, I didn't particularly enjoy Sekiro. And I didn't even really enjoy the boss fights. Like, I know a lot of people really like some of the boss fights. They just were almost just exercises in how annoyed I would get playing them.
It's actually like a big reason why I know I tried to get back into it, but I just never got hooked. And I don't know.
Yeah, like it never hooked me. Like, whereas something like, because I know when I play Ghost of Tsushima, I can already tell I'm going to have like a really fun time playing that game.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just because there's like I have more control over how I play my character.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I agree with that.
And then there were so many like lifestyle things I wanted to do that COVID just threw a gigantic wrench in. So I'm not even going to talk about those. Although, I mean, like I'm trying to be optimistic where, like, things will kind of get back on track maybe around summer. But we talked about this in our friend group. Like, we miss the gym. We all just want to go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I want to do. And it helps now, like, I have a lot more expendable income, so there's so many things I just want to go do. Like, I want to go get a bike. Like, I'm going to get, like, a really nice bike so I can start getting into cardio I actually enjoy. There's an archery club that I want to go join just because I really like archery.
Oh, I miss going to that place.
Yeah, there's so many new things. Like, the New Year's resolutions for 2020 are all just a wash. 2021, I think, as long as COVID kind of gets under control, now that I have expendable income, it's just like, the world is my oyster now. Because, like, there are a bunch of things I just didn't expect to do during 2020. Like, I mentioned last time, like, I read, like, because I really liked Nova, I read, like, every single Nova comic from Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, like, completely unrelated because I had never heard of Nova before. And then someone was like, it was literally just on Reddit. It was like, he's kind of the answer to Green Lantern. And I really like Green Lantern from DC.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun. Hades came out, which was a giant time sink for me. And I still go back and play it every, like, few weeks just to get a few runs in. Just because it's so, like, comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I know if it comes out this year, and I'm kind of hoping it does, Ian and I were always like, we're ready for RuneScape. We'll do like group Iron Man.
Oh yeah.
And I think we might need one more, Harrison. If you wanna jump into RuneScape again.
A little bit of hardcore.
The thing is, like, unlike you guys, like, I was gonna say, unlike you guys, I never got into it.
Yeah, you were
like,
a WoW
I was
boy.
like,
oh
yeah,
you never played it, or like didn't play it a lot, right, when you were younger?
Because like
No,
it was so because I remember getting on because everyone in like school was like, oh, I play RuneScape. I'm like, oh, cool. Because at the time I'm like, cool, because I have WoW, but obviously that costs money. RuneScape is free. Let's go in. But me going from WoW to that, I think my expectations were like, oh, you could, like, everyone was like explaining what you can do in RuneScape. I'm like, oh shit, that sounds dope.
But then you see it.
No,
like...
so the graphics I don't care for. It was just like, I was fine with it. I was like, this is fine. It makes sense. Like, I was like, all right, no, this makes sense. Obviously it's free. But I think just playing it, I just didn't have fun. I was just like, this is just not fun to me. Like, I don't know what it was. And maybe that's because I didn't play it enough. So who knows?
Yeah.
But I feel like if you guys are doing that group Iron Man thing, like, you have to at least know the game, right? At that point, because if I did it, I probably wouldn't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I mean, not necessarily. It's just the game is just harder because you have to rely on, instead of like, I can just go to the Grand Exchange and buy whatever I need as long as I need, like, as long as I have gold. It's more of now I'd have to either rely on my group to get multiple drops so they can give it to me, or I have to farm it for myself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which is always the miserable part because, like, you know, oh, I need this one item, and yeah, it costs like 500,000 gold, but you know, 500,000 gold isn't too much in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Versus this item has a 1 in 16,000% or 1 in 16,000 chance drop, so I just have to pray to God I get it before I kill 16,000 of these stupid lizards.
Oh, yeah.
But that's part of the fun.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll let you know. Or we'll talk about it more after because I have questions.
I have questions.
Yeah, like they're like just I think because of COVID, so many things has changed. Because I played we all played Final Fantasy 14 for a bit.
Yeah, we did touch that.
I still plan on playing all of it. I just stopped playing for a while.
Yeah.
Part of it I think is because my girlfriend got into WoW again. So
is she
she's
playing the
WoW,
new expansion? Or is she playing like?
I think she actually has Shadowlands.
Oh shit! Damn.
I'm pretty sure she does because she's like showed me an area that like it looked really cool and really new. I've never seen it before, so
yeah. Fuck.
Sick.
Yeah, like a lot of stuff I want is just like to go out and do stuff again.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure is like almost everybody's just like, this is just something I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's not a whole lot for that. Yeah. Man. Hopefully, crossing fingers, 2021 is good.
We'll find out.
Oh man, right?
No, so just going back, it's really because there's just funny things that I like noticed. Like for instance, like looking back, I'm like, wow, we talked about Destiny a lot, and then now like none of us really. Well, you guys like stopped, and then I played the new expansion, but I think I stopped after 2 because I'm like, there's not much. There's literally nothing to do. So I'm like, it's so funny. I'm like, oh yeah, we just didn't raid as much, but that's fine. There's not much now anyway.
Yeah, it's like our friend group is also like really diversifying in games.
Yeah,
now.
like we all like.
I know you're playing Guild Wars with some people.
Yeah,
there's still some people playing Final Fantasy 14. We still have people playing League.
Yeah.
I
mean,
what else?
If we're gonna
squad for Apex,
I was gonna say we play
Apex.
Like there are games that I'm like. Speaking of like how like you didn't expect certain things that like I didn't expect to get back into Apex. I did not expect to go back into Call of Duty. Like,
there's a few you guys playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, we play Call of Duty. I'm like, wait, I don't. That's also kind of why I stopped playing Destiny because I'm like, this is my first person shooter fix. Apex is my first person shooter fix. Wait, but these are actually good shooting. Like, it has good shooting mechanics, but these are just there's better there's just like little things that make it a little bit more fun to play other stuff, right?
Yeah, like I mean playing a BR, there are actual stakes. It's like, you know, I want to play to win. Versus in Destiny, it's just like
there's no
playing
climb
to get my dailies and weeklies done.
There's no climb that you can do, and I'm like, I mean, there is, but it's not. You don't see like the gold or silver, right? Like that really does add like a little factor to it. It feels like you're moving.
Yeah, I'm really glad that Apex came out to Steam because
dude, that helped.
Like, I don't play Apex that often, but like I have played, and then like I got a win with you and one of our other friends. I was like,
dude,
all right, like
that was so unexpected.
I'm enjoying this. Like Apex is fun.
That was so unexpected.
And even like other streamers on Twitch I watch who don't play Apex are like, oh, they're playing Apex again.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it had like a bit of a resurgence.
I think it's also like the new maps are really good, and I think that helps a lot.
Yeah,
Olympus is great.
Like I've been itching to play recently. Oh, because I've tried Warzone and I've tried Apex. I like both, but I think I like Apex more for its battle royale stuff. Like,
interesting.
The battle royale, like they do battle royales like better. Like they streamline stuff better. While Warzone feels like an upgraded Fortnite. And no building, right? But it feels like there's like little things I like in both, but I think I like the battle royale aspect in Apex more.
Okay. Yeah, playing like a little bit of Warzone. It's very going from Apex to Warzone felt bad for me because your mobility in Apex is so high, and then in Warzone
It's just Call
kind
of
of like
Duty
the movement. You're kind of like a
it's
clunky like person.
it's essentially Call of Duty.
Yeah,
But
yeah, exactly.
But I like the gun play a little bit more in Warzone.
Definitely see that. Yeah. I kind of like playing around with the shooting a bit. Yeah, I can definitely see how somebody would like that better.
It's weird because like I feel like in Apex, like obviously some people are just way better skilled at certain guns, but Apex I feel like is the one BR I know that just still has just like these are just bad guns. And like you basically never want to use these guns. They're literally there for when people hot drop, and so you get just like grab whatever you can. Oh, I got a RE45 and I can use this to kill one person and then that's it. Whereas in like every other battle royale, I feel like most of the guns are still usable in the late game.
Yeah.
I see that a little bit, yeah. The RE45 I think is actually something you take in the late game.
Sleeper?
Sleeper.
Okay.
Yeah, it's sleeper. But no, like the P2020 that just
No.
Yeah,
At the end
or
of
like-
the day,
like-
you're just bad.
fair.
Get good.
Like I know
Fair
you
point,
like the
I'm
Mozambique, Ian, but Mozambique is
Mozambique.
one. Like compared to every other shotgun, it's just like I feel like it's just objectively inferior.
No. So what you do
Oh
is
my gosh. Here we go.
you wipe their shields with your primary, then you switch to the Mozam with
And
your
down.
hammer point rounds, and it's one shot. They're dead.
It's true.
Because
150.
if you get the hopper on the Mozam, it deals more health damage. So you just have to take out their shields, and then they're dead. Chef's
Like
kiss. It's so
like
good.
a pro. Like a pro. Yeah, no, I just didn't expect to play either of those games. I was just like, what the fuck? Didn't
I
expect to
didn't
play
either,
Final
to be
Fantasy
honest.
14 actually, because remember, at the time we talked about it, the trial wasn't like
Yeah,
the
the
way it
trial
was
was the thing.
now.
We're just like, oh, I really want to like, I have that MMO itch.
yeah.
You know, maybe that's the one I want to play.
We were in that raid mode. You can tell like when we were talking about, like, oh,
Yeah.
we want to like do group shit. Let's go.
And
Which
then
I still
think in
do.
the in the summer they announced, hey, we're gonna upgrade our free trial to include everything up through Heaven's Word, and then our entire friend group was like, let's go,
Let's go.
let's go in.
I think
That was the smartest decision they.
Yeah, they
It was-
probably made
it was
so
so-
many new users doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I think my only gripe, and this is why, at least with group play, I mean, I get it. One thing is like, oh, you can't just like make a group. You have to like kind of depend on like people that have the game. But no shit, that makes sense. I think the other thing is forcing people into like you have to have 2 DPS, 1 support and 1 tank. I just don't like that inflexibility, but. Because I think later on it'd be fun to like, oh, let's just all fucking do random shit and see if we can clear this thing, right? But I also get it. It's a nice. It's
It's definitely like
it's a style,
I
and
think just the way we were playing, because one, we were free trial,
yeah,
and we just like this is the class we want to play.
yeah.
It probably felt a lot more stifling when, because I think predominantly we had healers and DPS.
Yeah,
We
and
only
didn't have
had
a lot
like
of
maybe
tanks.
3 or 4 tank players,
Yeah.
and so you just kind of had to hope that one of them was on to tank.
Yeah. And I think like also for me, just playing like a DPS class too, because there's so many DPS classes, is like, oh, it just because of that's how the class makeup is. It's harder for me to get into queues for certain things or everything actually. While like if you just have like a support, it's like boom, done.
Yeah.
So there's just little things with the experience. I'm like, this is cool, but I kind of wish it was different. But it is what it is.
I feel like if you change it though, you run into the problem of like, oh, everyone just does damage, so classes don't even really matter.
AKA League of
Or-
Legends.
Yeah, right. But I do understand what you're saying though. Yeah, it
Yeah.
like the rigidity. I think it's just something you either choose to do or not do.
Because like I want to experience the story more, of course. And it was so funny because we mentioned this last time, and you were like saying how your sister and her fiance played Ian, and
Right,
it was like,
yeah.
oh, the beginning part is like very like it's a you have to trudge through it, but then after it's great. And I'm like, that's exactly what I felt, and I like fell off because of that, because I think I burnt myself out so bad playing like through like the main or MSQ in the first.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I didn't even try Heaven's Word, so that's why I don't think my viewpoint is like fully fleshed out yet. But
yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think I got to some of the quests in between the like the base game and Heaven's Word. I'm like in between the quest line there to get to Heaven's Word, but that's kind of where I fell off too, just because. Dude, I think I might just be done with MMOs, maybe.
Think so? I mean,
maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that makes
But then
sense.
again, I'm like, oh, Iron Man and RuneScape, let's go. So maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just a dirty liar.
I feel like, I mean, like,
I think
you
RuneScape's
don't
like
have
a separate thing.
RuneScape is so weird.
Yeah.
One that like it's like a weird MMO, but like there's no other MMO that has an Iron Man type style.
Yeah. Because then you delve into like a different type of genre, and it's not.
It becomes less of an MMO, and it's just a group game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think RuneScape is different. I wouldn't give you shit if you're like, oh, I don't like playing MMOs, but I play RuneScape. I'm like, because even I think that was my other thing, and I might have been wrong. This was other questions I have, but like with RuneScape, is there like a lot of group activity? Is there like a raid at the end or something like that?
They actually have raids now, which is kind of weird to me.
Okay, because back then they didn't though, right?
No,
back then they didn't.
Like those are really new, but there's like 3 raids you can do.
Okay, because that was.
I think back then the only thing you could do in terms of like a big group activity, I think there were some quests.
Yeah,
that you could do as a group, kind of.
Yeah,
or I think you could technically do all the quests as like a group.
Mm-hmm.
But you're all just doing the quests
separately. You're doing the quests together.
Yeah. But they also had like their capture the flag mode.
Yeah, you had
I
Castle
remember hearing
Wars,
about that.
you had
I
the
thought that was
Dueling
cool.
Arena.
Yeah. I heard about that too.
But
that was really fun.
Yeah, Castle Wars is amazing.
Mm.
But there's legitimate PvE raids now.
Damn. All right.
That are like
kind
of designed as like these are the end game PvE content things.
I see.
But it's also like RuneScape is almost less of an MMO, and I've heard these. Oh god, I just blanked on the word. I've heard these comparisons before, but RuneScape is just like a very advanced idle game or a very advanced. Like, game.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I can definitely see that.
I mean, at my old job, I had a coworker who literally treated it like that. Yeah, he put his phone on the counter. He'd like do a little thing on it and let his character just go. He'd let his character like just auto fight people.
I think that's part of the appeal, is that like I think more than any other game I've played, maybe in terms of maybe like an online game, because it is up there in the kind of game where no matter what you've done, you've always made some sort of progress.
Yeah,
that like felt impactful. Because like I'm gonna talk about Destiny real quick, just because it's the most relevant thing I can think of. Yeah. It's like I can play Destiny and my light level goes up and I have better gear, but nothing really feels different. It's just like, okay, now I just hit harder and I can like survive more hits. My gun does different things. But in RuneScape, it's like, oh, because I advanced levels, I go to a new area because I can do something else that I couldn't do before.
Yeah.
And so like I'm always progressing, and not that I'm always just progressing, but I can quote be more productive while also playing RuneScape. Like, oh, I can listen to a lecture on YouTube and then just like every couple of seconds just like make sure I do one click. Or like I just make my character do this thing.
Yeah. Very easy multitasking game.
Yeah, it is the perfect multitasking kind of game as long as you have 2 monitors.
Yeah.
Right. Or just alt tab that.
Or just alt tab. Well, yeah, I mean, even then, just alt tabbing. But it's very satisfying to play, I think, more than a lot of MMOs, because a lot of it is nostalgia, but it's also just the amount of content you can do.
Yeah. Man. Oh, it was funny because there's 2 things that were like, oh, at the time when we were talking, we're like, oh, March is going to be so stacked. There's going to be so many games.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, Cyberpunk's going to come out. Final Fantasy's going to come out. And I think there's like one other game, but like, I think they all got delayed.
Foolish children.
I think they all got delayed. And I was just
we
like,
had no idea.
we had no idea. And it was just like,
Because
oh.
I think it became to the point where it was just Animal Crossing and Doom.
Yeah, those are the
One
two
month.
big
Yeah.
ones. Those are the two big
Everything
ones.
else got pushed back.
Yeah. But I thought that was just so funny. It was just listening to us talk. I'm like, man, you have no freaking
Dude, like
idea.
if,
dude.
if we could go back and be like, get ready.
Get ready.
Get
Stock,
ready.
stock up on toilet paper. Why? Just do it. Trust me.
So I know we're winding down.
Yeah.
There's one last thing I want to ask if you guys have anything to say about it.
Yeah.
What was the kind of surprise thing that happened in 2020 for you? Both good and bad, I guess. What was something that disappointed you in 2020, and what was something that were like, oh, okay, like this is actually like pretty fun or pretty cool? It doesn't have to be even like gaming related, just like just something cool that happened.
Oh.
You want me to go first, Ian, or you go first?
Yeah, you go first.
I knew it. So it was like, it's obviously because with 2020, it's like COVID was like a big thing. I think initially it was like that mix of this is great to like bad. Was essentially just at first it was like, oh, we get to like stay in, like because at the time I was like, oh, we have to. I was at the point where I'm like, I just kind of want to stay in, be a hermit, and like catch up on stuff and do all this shit. And then it's like, oh, we got to stay in. It was like that. It's like that good comparison of when you have like that winter like snow day and it just gets extended over time and becomes too much of a good thing, and you're like, oh shit, I want to get out. I think that was like the one. That's the bad thing, right? I think I feel like that was the big thing. But I feel like the nice part about last year at least was like, because everyone stayed in more, I feel like I played more games with you guys a lot more, or like just a lot of people, right? Or essentially just got to hang out more instead of like, oh, I'm busy like that day. We like, instead of going out and stuff, it just became a, oh, let's just chill. Let's just go online, like chill and play some shit, right? And yeah, I think that was like the big one, at least in terms of like the whole scenario. I also don't know how to answer your question that well, Luke, the more I think about it.
That's
a
fair.
pretty
I mean,
good answer.
That's a valid answer. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, not to get like too bogged down with other stuff, but the whole like capital thing, that was probably the bad thing.
Oh,
who could have seen that happen?
Yeah. Right.
That's
but that's big bad stuff. This is an entertainment show.
I was gonna say that's like a topic of in itself if we even touch that.
Yeah, right.
But that's like one out of scope, but like there's so much shit with that. But,
just that was just wild.
You know what it became weird though, really quick, because like it's like that bad event. That was like one bad event, right? But last year it just felt like each month we were just waiting for something to pop up. Like it felt like an arc of like just 2020. It's like, oh, what's happening in like, I think it's like, oh, like beginning of the year was like, oh, imminent World War III. Then like for February something happened, and March was like COVID, and like we all just stay in, and like April, May, June, some shit
like
happened.
next month it's like, all right,
what's next? Yeah, it was seriously
hit
like,
me with it.
What's next? All right, when are aliens coming in? Ready? Not really.
Oh man, yeah, no one's ready for that. The good thing, a good surprise. Man, it might be kind of the same as Harrison. I was just like, we've just been able to like be on Discord a lot and hanging out. Just the way we've like adapted to hanging out in spite of COVID and stuff. It's been good.
Okay.
What about you, Luke? What's your good and bad?
This is both a good and bad, but it's more of, to me, it is most definitively an "I told you so" but Cyberpunk was kind of a dumpster fire. So called it.
I was gonna mention it after, actually. I was like, oh, speaking of the delays, Luke, you called it.
No, I was like, called it.
It was funny because we were like trying to say like what happens. I was like you were saying something. I was like,
what would happen if Cyberpunk was just bad?
Like,
you're
it
like,
just
dude,
came,
there's no way.
or it just came out and everyone just shat on it. I was like, there's no way everyone could shit on it. And then I'm like, well, that didn't age well at all. Well, because I know we said that in not that episode, but a later episode. I'm like, look, there's no way they built up this reputation, and that's always the like people point back to that as like, oh, CD Projekt Red built up such good trust that at this point, look what they did. And I was like, yeah, actually, yeah, fuck them for that, Jesus. Like, they just straight up lied about the console release. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But Luke called it.
Like something bad.
Oh, that was the good one. Got it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I forgot how you worded it. I was like, oh yeah,
it was a little bit of both. Like it does suck that Cyberpunk was so bad, because I know a lot of people were like hoping it was gonna be good, but
that also, I mean, that's just goes to show like you can't you gotta take it with a grain of salt.
It's like, especially like like I think there are some companies that legitimately have goodwill.
Yeah.
Like Supergiant, or for me, even like From Software. Like, if you really think about it, CD Projekt Red had The Witcher 3, and that's kind of it. It just so happened that they were doing stuff with The Witcher 3 for so long, people kind of like forgot.
No,
it was like, no.
Oh, go on. Sorry. I
was like, yeah. I mean, because they did a lot of, like, they did some good stuff with Witcher 3, but I think partly it was compounded by, because they were supporting Witcher 3, and they gave it a lot of updates, and then the DLC came out, which is good. So people, like, kind of warped The Witcher 3 into being CD Projekt Red good. And, like, The Witcher 2 was also good. I think it just didn't have the, like, same sort of monumentous success that people, I think, were attributing to it.
But that's what I was going to say.
There are other studios that have, like, more of our games. Like, it's been more than just one game.
Yeah.
That we've had good relations with.
Right. I was going to say, not trying to be an apologist, because, but this is more like, I think it just becomes like that whole, you get to the point where they're like the hero until they become the villain, right? And that, I think like Witcher 1 was like, okay, cool, that was a game, that's niche. And then like Witcher 2 was like one of those like, oh, if you're looking for a game that's like medieval but like good, like this is one of the good ones that people would recommend. Like I heard recommendations for that for a while, but it was like, it wasn't like a, oh, gotta play this game, but it was like, but it wasn't like a bad game. Like people still were like, oh, that's a good recommendation, it's still top notch. And then 3 was like, oh, because Witcher 2 was actually pretty good, everyone's like, oh, pretty good game. But then it just kept getting better, which it just kind of became to the point where they built themselves up to that point. And then I think they honestly just got in and they were just like, oh, it'll be fine. I really do think that. And that's when people built that perception up. And I've mentioned this before. I think it's all just because we create that perception. And
yeah, like the
hype machine just got crazy. It got really crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm like, the other flip side, logically, that's like the first time they like did it. Those are the only 3 games that they got, and that was like the Cyberpunk's like the first time they had something that was not within that genre. So it wasn't built on anything really, but it is what it is. No one saw that coming.
Yeah, and like honestly, I think my bad will probably coincide with like COVID happened, but I think it's more than like yeah, obviously COVID was awful, but Ian kind of joked like we're an entertainment podcast. Entertainment for 2020 just sucked.
Yeah, it really
in general. Like movies were like shifted all over the place and delayed. Wonder Woman was really bad.
We need to talk about that.
We can talk about that.
Yeah, I don't think I ever. I knew you were watching it, but I never actually got to hear your thoughts on it.
In my opinion, Wonder Woman 1984 was pretty bad.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. That'll be an episode later on for sure.
The future of DC. I mean, I think the good is just like me personally, because I had so much free time. I got to check out like, I got to play Hades, and I got to read Nova comics and actually get to like read comics. Because before I've read The Blackest Night, like all of The Blackest Night, and I thought that was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm like, okay, well I've read that. Like maybe I'm gonna find like another like bigger comic line to read, like Superior Spider-Man. I think would be really fun to read, or just even like the Into the Spider-Verse line of comics. Mm-hmm. So getting a bigger appreciation for comics was really cool.
Heck yeah.
So that's my answer.
I was going to say, like, because you added little things, I want to add, like, 2 other big things that I actually did and I want to keep doing is I got a tablet. So I actually started reading more manga because I finished Demon Slayer.
Ooh.
I'm going to add... So, sorry, I forgot to add this. Luke, I will actually add Worm. I will read it instead of listen to it.
Huh.
You heard it here, folks.
Yes.
So I was one thing...
Yes. This is on record.
This is on record. So you can give me shit a year from now if I don't do it. Straight up. This is on record. I'm going to try to start reading Worm.
Well, yeah. I wouldn't expect you to finish reading it in a year.
I think you could finish it in a year.
You could. I'm just saying, if you don't, I'm not gonna.
But
dude, someone I knew finished Worm in like a week.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Come on.
Oh, that's insane.
Well,
that's because they had literally nothing else to do. So.
Oh, okay.
That was one other so I left off that part. I forgot to add on mine was like read possibly like one more manga series or something that I'm interested in, but also Worm. Specifically, not a book, Worm.
Good.
Just for you.
Or Ian, finish Worm.
Yeah, I need to.
I'm gonna call
that. That was.
I have no excuse.
Finish.
I will say I have no excuse, no school, no nothing. I got time.
Well, I mean, you got.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I can make time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I need to read that. I want to read more. I read a lot in 2019, I think, and then 2020 I didn't read a whole lot. So I think I want to read.
Reading is good.
Yeah, I have a lot of books though.
On record. Hell yeah.
And
then I wanted to add like 2 other good things. I didn't think about it, but I was like, oh, speaking of Cyberpunk, I mentioned Final Fantasy 7. I'm like, oh, I actually played that, and I thought it was great. Like I had fun with it. So I can't wait to see what they do with Final Fantasy 16. And it's going to be weird, but I really hope they pull more from 7 remake, because 15's combat was pretty meh, but I think 7 pulled good things from 15, but just did it better, right?
Interesting.
So hopefully, we'll see. There's
at some point I probably need to go and play.
There's some things that I'm like, oh, like there's an episode we could do like, oh, of course we could always do like what we're excited for, blah blah blah, all that. What's new?
Because I hated the
I think
combat.
That's why I couldn't get into it as much, because at first I was like, oh, it'll be like Kingdom Hearts. But then when you think about it, it was like good, but it wasn't like great. But
I don't even think it was good.
I meant Kingdom Hearts or Kingdom Hearts or yeah.
Oh no.
Sorry, I meant Kingdom Hearts. I meant
15,
Kingdom Hearts.
I don't even think it was good.
Yeah,
I see. Yeah.
And then I want to do more stuff with. Now that I have more time, I want to like think of more stuff for this podcast. So we'll see.
Yeah. Get ready, people. We're gonna blow up. 2021 is our year.
Don't say that, man.
I believe it.
We're gonna walk in real slow.
Yeah.
Chill.
What?
Don't touch anything in 2021.
All right. Let's go ahead and wrap up now before we ramble.
Sounds good.
Thank you everybody for listening. Thank you for tuning in. SuperBoss Podcast. You can find us on Twitter. I don't know the handle, but Harrison
at SuperBoss
does.
Pod. Just tweet us.
Tweet us there. Feedback, comments. If you just want to yell at us, sure. Like we need something to do because it's the new year.
Give us engagement on YouTube by hitting a comment or a like.
Or subscribe.
Give us
or
social media engagement. But thank you again, everybody. We are signing off.
Bye-bye.